Now that we understand how to read a passage well, let's look at certain question types. We'll start with the question which asks your overall understanding of the passage. I'm just going to call it general understanding, you can call it anything. So in this lesson, let's look at the basics. What are these general understanding questions that I'm talking about? One is a question asking the primary purpose of the passage, which is to ask the question, why did the author write this particular passage? Question that asks the main idea of the passage. Question that asks the title of the passage. Question that asks the tone of the passage, and the questions that ask the logical structure of the passage. Now in all of these things, I think main idea is something that is kind of easy to look at, in the sense that the paragraph is going to have, the passage is going to have multiple paragraphs, and each of this paragraph will have that one idea, idea 1, idea 2, idea 3, idea 4, and this whole idea has got certain connections, and one of those idea, usually in paragraph number 1 or sometimes in paragraph number 2 or maybe even in paragraph number 4, one of those ideas would be the main idea. And the question is simply asking you to identify the main idea. That's it. And another thing is, there is this logical connection between these ideas. For example, the question can ask, what is paragraph number 3 doing in the context of the complete passage? Is it giving an additional example? Is it refuting a claim? What is that paragraph 3's role in the whole passage? That's kind of question which asks you what is the understanding the logical structure of the paragraph, trying to look at the connections between those ideas. Then of course we also know that there is a tone of the passage, that is the author's attitude toward the subject under discussion. And then one can ask the question can be simply what is the tone of the passage. And then there is a thing called purpose. Purpose is some sort of a connection between idea and a tone. For example, let's say the passage is about making uniform compulsory in college. Let's say that an author is looking at the pros and cons of it. Let's say the author is doing analysis of whether to make uniform in the college compulsory. So what will be the purpose? Purpose is a connection of these two. Analyzing the impact of uniforms, something like that, or the impact of making uniforms compulsory in college. So that would be the purpose kind of a question, which has got these two components. One is linked to the tone, and the second component is linked to the main idea. So that's how the primary purpose question is usually structured. And the title is nothing but, title must have a strong connection to the main idea. It's not a clickbait. The title gives a glimpse of the passage. The title is connected to the main idea itself. But all these 6 type of question can be answered without actually going back to the passage. In fact, should be answered without actually going back to the passage. But in our lessons, when we did those 4 words of each paragraph, what we are trying to find out is the main idea itself, the tone, the purpose. So all these kind of questions are the ones you read the passage once, and then you will be able to answer these questions. Right. Now let's look at certain traps that is being said. So when you look at questions like main idea or primary purpose, or questions on title, apart from a usual trap, which is things that are broad, alien, narrow, or extreme. Did I say escape? Extreme. Apart from these 4 usual things, another way to kind of give you a trap is, since somebody is asking the main idea or the primary purpose, so some sort of a detail that is mentioned in the passage, or an example that is given more importance, and that will be the trap. The additional trap is a detail trap. A detail trap is a trap where the information is true, just that it is not its main idea or the primary purpose, right? So whenever, so that is usually one trap that you can find in the main idea purpose title questions. And the type of trap that you find in tone is just by using the word, which we may not know the meaning of the word. Let's say didactic, sardonic. Oh God, what does that mean? Now, if I don't know the meaning of the word sardonic, I may be able to understand the passage. The author is trying to kind of mock someone, and you figured out the tone of the passage is sarcastic. Let's say that's what you figured out. But sardonic is in one sense is similar to sarcasm. So if you don't know the meaning of the word sardonic, you will not mark it. So that's a problem with tone. So this is largely a challenge of vocabulary than anything else. The usual trap, right? So in the subsequent lesson, we will look at examples of these main idea questions and see how the traps is done. So in this lesson, all you have to remember is that a couple of things. One is all these type of question main idea is comes as an outcome of your ability to read the passage effectively. If you are able to read the passage effectively, this kind of question will not be a problem, because at the end of the day is asking a general understanding. Whatever the trap that is being said, the trap that is being said is the main idea questions or primary purpose question or the title of the passage question. The trap that is said is additional trap, which is the detailed trap. Detailed trap is instead of actually giving the main idea, puts a detail, and the trap in the tone, ladies and gentlemen, is a trap where you don't know the meaning of the word. That's a vocab trap. Yeah. So let's get this started and see you in the next lesson.